I like it.
Victor McLaughlin co-stars in Klondike Annie, premiering Tuesday, September 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern on AMC. Saddle up your pony for a rough ride on the dusty trail as AMC presents the best of the West. In the Wild West, everyone fears the red man.
The Sioux once raided into Apache territory. Old-timers told me you could follow their line of retreat by the bones of their dead.
Every day is high noon.
Take your hands off your guns, or there'll be more dead men here than this town can afford to bury.
And everybody loves a barroom brawl. The cowboy's creed is simple.
For me, salvation is a clean pistol and a good horse.
The cowgirl keeps tight rein on her man.
You mangy old coyote!
And the sidekick tells a never-ending tall tale.
Why, I've had women from Arkansas to Zanzibar.
Travel back to the land where the buffalo roam for the best of the West. September 26th, only on AMC.
I just talked with Tommy Udo. I'm setting him up for you, Mr. D'Angelo. There's only one thing for me to do now. You've got exactly 2 minutes. Don't miss.
This man has just informed on the mob. Now he's about to walk to his death. Victor Mature and Richard Widmark in his Oscar-nominated screen debut,
Yes, Mike!
Kiss of Death. It's an American movie classic. Friday. He was your average Joe having an average day until he met the doll. There was something about her he liked. But business before pleasure.
We bet 100. About looking? More fun that way.
Then his pal turned up with a real poker face, and someone wanted to put him to the big sleep.
I brought you a gun.
Then he knew the doll was his kind of woman. Robert Mitchum and Jane Russell sizzle. She's his kind of woman. Friday on American Movie Classics.
The movie that we're about to see, DOA, starts with a murder. But in this case, the victim gets to solve the crime himself, which makes things kind of convenient for the police department because they don't usually get to start on a murder case by talking with the guy who was killed. I won't be giving too much away by telling you that the plot revolves around the effects of radiation, which is only identified in the film as a luminous toxin. DOA was made in 1949, just a couple of years after the first atomic bomb was dropped, and at that time, the general public knew just enough about radiation to be afraid of it, not much more. Edmund O'Brien is the man who attempts to solve his own murder, with Pamela Britton as his loyal secretary and fiancée. Pamela Britton is probably best remembered for starring in the television version of Blondie, and later on as the wacky neighbor on My Favorite Martian. There are 2 people in small roles here that you might want to look for in the film, both of whom went on to TV fame later on. First, there's Hugh O'Brien, who later starred in the television series Wyatt Earp, and an actress who's billed as Beverly Campbell. She changed her name to Beverly Garland and turned out to be Kate Jackson's mother in the TV series Scarecrow and Mrs. King. One final note, with all the police shows that people see on television nowadays, I'm sure everybody knows that DOA is the police term for dead on arrival, but that term was so obscure back in 1949 that most of the critics felt that it was necessary to define it in their reviews. Here's Edmund O'Brien in DOA. Just saw with Edmund O'Brien. Movie plots, I guess, never die. They just get recycled. A new version of DOA was recently released. That was with Dennis Quaid as the hero doomed to search out his own killer. The character's name changed, but he still had that 24-hour deadline with death. Now let's take a look at this.
Next on American Movie Classics, Professor Richard Brown meets with legendary comedian and actor Jerry Lewis in Reflections on the Silver Screen with Professor Richard Brown. Next on AMC.
I'm the captain here. And if you don't like it, I'll bust it over your skulls.
They called him the beloved brute.
Afraid? I'm not afraid of the fighting man I was ever with.
In September, AMC salutes Oscar winner Victor McLaglen with 9 of his greatest roles. It's a month-long festival, culminating with a special marathon on September 30th.
Oh, so I suppose you think you're a hero.
AMC's Victor McLaglen Festival. In September, only on AMC.
You're not leaving town unless dead men can walk.
Hollywood made him rough, tough, and sincere. AMC presents a collection of Gary Cooper classics featuring this all-American hero in his most memorable role.
I'm calling the hand that's in your hat.
Look for The Plainsman, The Lives of a Bengal Lancer, and Meet John Doe. Plus, don't miss our special presentation of American movie legends, Gary Cooper. It's a night of Cooper classics, Wednesday, September 18th, only on AMC.
This is an airplane. I'm going to teach you to fly one. I hope.
It was a time of patriotism and honor.
We both wanted something when we came down here. We both felt the same way. And if I'm not in the Air Corps, I want to know that you're in.
A brave era in history where the sky was the limit for a man with a dream.
You wanted wings, mister? Go get them.
Ray Milland, William Holden, and Veronica Lake in her first starring role, I Wanted Wings. Tuesday on American Movie Classics.
We meet in all kinds of places.
A man trapped by his past. A woman with an uncertain future.
I didn't know what to do. I was always afraid of him and afraid of what I'd done.
They share a loyalty that could destroy them both.
You owe me something. You'll never be happy until you swear yourself.
Robert Mitchum, Jane Greer, and Kirk Douglas in a daring kind of love story out of the past. Wednesday on American Movie Classics.
I just talked with Tommy Udo. I'm setting him up for you, Mr. D'Angelo. There's only one thing for me to do now. You've got exactly 2 minutes. Don't miss.
This man has just informed on the mob. Now he's about to walk to his death. Victor Mature and Richard Widmark in his Oscar-nominated screen debut.
Yes, right.
Kiss of Death. It's an American Movie Classic. Friday.